Now it's time to sample Suzuki's all-new Bandit 1250S. As you know, the Bandit's been around for a long time and has a solid reputation as an affordable all-rounder, with plenty of legs to take you the distance. But because it's been around a while, Suzuki recently had to give the Big Bad Bandit a whole new engine in order for it to meet current and future emission standards. As a result, the Bandit engine is now more compact, liquid-cooled, fuel-injected, a whole 6-speed affair, with a catalytic 4-into-1 that uses a new Suzuki pulsed air system to further reduce emissions. The new engine package also allowed the engineers to lengthen the bike's swing arm and beef up its frame. Testing the results of this massive makeover is a longtime Suzuki rider and old GS enthusiast, Paul Kahnert. We wondered, would the Bandit once again steal his heart?
Well, Paul, here we are again standing beside a Suzuki motorcycle, and I guess when it comes to the Bandit, new and improved?
Absolutely. As you know, Dave, I had a previous generation Bandit for many years, and I was very curious to try out the new Bandit, the liquid cooled. Where are we going to start?
Well, let's start with, everybody talks about the motor. When you talk about the Bandit, there's no replacement for displacement, right? And they went bigger again.
Well, they absolutely did. They went to 1,255 cubic centimeters, and the motor is entirely new.
Right.
But even though it's a 1255, it's a very compact motor.
Yeah.
It's smaller dimensions, and it actually feels like you're riding a 900, but with a lot more torque and power, of course.
Yeah.
So really the only thing that's the same on this motorcycle is the wheelbase. Everything else is brand new for this year.
Yeah.
I took the Bandit over to my friends at Pro 6 Cycle in Toronto, and I put it on the dyno. And I got almost 85 foot-pounds of torque and 105 horsepower. Now, I thought it was going to be a little bit more in the horsepower department because it feels like so much more.
Right.
It really has a kick in the ass from very low RPM. I think it reaches 105 horsepower at 3,750 RPM, which is just amazing.
Yeah.
And so on the street, it just pulls from any gear. It doesn't matter if you're in 6th gear or 1st gear, it just pulls from every gear.
Yeah.
The transmission, you saw yourself, you're riding yourself, it's silky smooth. There are no misshifts. When you put it into 1st, it gently clicks into 1st. There's no clunk into 1st. And it has 6 speeds, whereas the old Bandit had 5 speeds. 6 speeds is fantastic because you're on the highway doing 120,
Yeah.
and you're 3,750 RPM,
Yeah.
which is very low on the highway for a motorcycle.
What about the new ABS braking system?
It's absolutely phenomenal. You can stop on a dime. You never have to worry about skidding. It's been a little wet recently, and I gave them a good working out. They are phenomenal and a good safety feature to have on the bike.
Yeah. What about the riding position?
Well, the riding position, to me, it's the perfect riding position because you're not in a cruiser position way back or you're in a sport bike position way forward. You're just slightly forward. There's a perfect balance between your hands, your feet, and your seat. And I have to say, it's one of the most comfortable seats I've ever sat on. And you could ride this to the West Coast and be quite comfortable. You will never get saddle sore on this bike.
When you talk about a motorcycle that's affordable and, you know, comparing other motorcycles, you start to expect to see things not quite up to spec in terms of the fit and finish, but the finish looks very nice.
It's absolutely, well, it's up to Suzuki's usual level of excellence. I mean, we buy a motorcycle for 3 reasons. It has to look good, it has to be fun, and it has to perform. And this bike has all 3 of them. And performance doesn't mean just going fast. It means handling, it means comfort, it means a whole bunch of things. And this bike has it all. I mean, there is truth in advertising. In the brochure here, it says, refined total balance. And truth in advertising, it has total balance.
Yeah.
And I was very impressed with the machine. It's a quite nice looking motorcycle and very comfortable. There are more accessories for this motorcycle than practically any other, including cosmetic and performance accessories. You can do a little or a lot to personalize this bike, or you can leave it alone because it's fantastic looking all on its own.
Right out of the box, eh? Now, come on, you've been waxing on poetic, you've been smiling from ear to ear all day. There must have been something you didn't like about this bike, something disappointed you.
Honestly, I can't say anything. It's effortless to ride. Effortless.
Right.
It's such a pleasure to ride.
So, who would you recommend this motorcycle to?
Well, a very wide range of people. I wouldn't recommend it for the very first time rider, for a beginner.
Right.
But because it's so effortless to ride, anyone could ride it. Somebody, one of your other test riders was 5'3". She had no problem riding it today. It's also good for the taller rider, somebody who's 6 feet or over.
Right.
There are very few motorcycles that are comfortable for tall people.
Right.
This is one of them.
So overall, I guess the Bandit's gonna lock up 2 thumbs up, huh?
It's got 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10. It's fun, it's comfortable, it performs well, and it looks great.
Oh, come on now, you pulled the brochure out of your back pocket. You're just vying for Suzuki. You're hoping they're gonna let you keep this one, right?
I would definitely love to keep this bike. It has it all.
Well, good luck with that, PK.
Thanks, Dave.
Great job.
It was an honor.